right, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. We're here live for our ninth episode of Epiq Thursdays, and we have a guest from the other end of the world. Not surprisingly, I'll introduce him in a minute. Donovan Giraud. He's tuning in from British Columbia, so we're about 11 hours time difference. So I honor his support in being up with us so early in his day. Our discussion today is going to be quite fascinating. It's something that I've come to kind of personally learn a lot about in the past, couple of years. But how many people do you know that have meditated daily for 20 years, who've also then figured how you can supercharge that meditation even after 20 years of daily meditation using something like CBD? So, meet John Donovan. He's a wellness blogger. He's a yogi. He's a visionary who has written for the last 10 years about everything from nutrition to neuro-feedback on his site, Evolver Wellness. And 3 years ago, he started working on his health coaching practice where he discovered CBD. Today, we're going to hear about how CBD enhances meditation and also discuss the benefits of yoga and meditation on our performance. Now, just to remind everyone, if you're tuning in to watch our show for the first time, Epiq Thursdays is about connecting with the movers and shakers when it comes to wellness, longevity, peak performance from around the world so that we can help support the high achievers, the entrepreneurs, the super ambitious folks on what they can do to kind of take their performance to that next level, whether it's optimal performance, high performance, peak performance. I will leave that lingo for another day's debate. But today we've got Donovan, who's going to, give us a sense on what he has been learning in his own personal journey, such that we can, take away some nuggets and start applying them in our life. All right, so Donovan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you, Aman, and thank you for the great introduction.
So let's, start with the thing. You've been meditating for 20 years, almost daily, if not daily. Tell me, what that's all about, how it got started, and how it's changed your life in a very simple sort of sentence.
Oh boy. Well, meditation's kind of not what most people think. I think it's it really it starts on the seat, but it becomes something that changes you, and then you change your life to become more of a simplified lifestyle so you can live in more of a meditative state all the time. How has it changed me? Oh man, it's really not just for stress relief. Real meditation, especially if you have a teacher and all that, then real meditation is to transform from more negative emotions to more positive emotions. That's really the purpose of, I think, all spiritual transformation systems like Buddhism and the practice of meditation. Yeah.
So, at what point did you realize that you were experiencing these shifts in your life? Because obviously you've been doing this you've been doing it for a while. So I'm presuming there have been maybe some points in those 20 years where you felt, hold on, I'm not going to another level where it's become part of not just business as usual, but I can rely on it with intent to hopefully, bring about those shifts in performance and shifts in states.
That's a great question. Let's see here. Well, let's see. I don't know if there's a definite moment or time when I became more aware of CBD or meditation making me a better person. I think for me, because the thing is, for me, it's my path's very unusual because I had several very powerful spiritual experiences in my early 20s that I was not looking for. I was not a spiritual person at all. I was not raised spiritual at all in any way. I had these experiences that blew my mind majorly and made me a meditator because I had those experiences during meditation while I was just trying it out, and I knew after those experiences that I was going to meditate for the rest of my life if I had to get back to that state, which was a state of such illumination and beauty and bliss. So that kind of got me hooked on the practice, honestly, right away, which is very unusual. And then I began to, was attracted to various teachers and began to do their systems of meditation, which began for me with guided meditation on audio tape. Because the mind needs us, in my opinion, the mind benefits from having a support, a prayer, a visualization, or something that you rest your mind on, or just a practice with the breath, These days I do Om meditation with the breath and the sound Om, and that's kind of my very simple, powerful, preferred style of meditation. But as I kept doing it, yeah, I started seeing changes for sure to myself. And mostly I would just come out of meditation much more clear, much more calm, but the effect becomes profound. The mind gets profound. Eventually, with time, the mind gets profoundly clear, such that in meditation sometimes now, decisions will just make themselves in meditation because the mind gets not just clearer, like less thought going on. It gets very quiet mind instead of a busy, fast mind. But mind gets not so much just clear, but also more expansive. So you begin to see your life. Even though your eyes are closed, you're seeing your life and you're seeing yourself through much more of an expanded point of view, and be able to see deeper into things. It really has to be experienced by a person, and you're not going to get that result usually in the first meditation.
So how long, how often do you meditate every day? Is it like once a day? Is it twice a day? And how long do you do it every time?
Yeah, this is a long discussion, really, just to even get to understand what meditation is and how to do it. But because we have all these myths in our mind about what it is. But these days, I meditate. I aim for an hour a day right now, and the truth is, there are days when I don't want to do it. There are days when my mind just won't stop. My mind is just, I can't seem to get into the groove. Even after 23 years. So. It's really not just a skill. It's really like, how is my emotional life going on? How is my social and career life going on? How is my diet going on? All those things are going to impact my meditation. And that's really why CBD is so beneficial, because it touches on everything's connected, right? So, and CBD really affects a lot of people's ability to be calm, helps them be calm, helps them sleep better, and so on. So those are right away two major benefits of cannabidiol that could impact your ability to meditate more naturally, meditate more deeply. And I take them for those reasons. I take CBD for those reasons and for other reasons. But now I meditate for an hour a day. I aim for that. Some days I definitely do 2 hours. But I have a practice now that is like, I don't just sit there and breathe. That would be hard for me, to just sit there and breathe and do like Vipassana, or even to do TM. For me would be hard. So what I do is I have meditation tools that I use. And I wasn't going to talk about tools here, but people are going to want to know. So, and this is what I do, so I use these tools, and they're like made by my teacher. They're energy medicine. They're a very powerful advanced form. This is called an etheric weaver. It's an aqua crystal with magnets on it. These come in different sizes and colors, and then you get them with geometries added to them. And I have a pendant, which is similar. So these tools come with meditation CDs that have prayers and invocations that are very universal in nature. So not like necessarily Christian, not necessarily Buddhist or anything like that, but they're all helping to, the prayers are invoking qualities of light and power to align with the various chakras and be expressed properly, and bring that out. Because that's what transforms you, and that's what gives you your grounding, when that ray is at your base chakra where it's supposed to be, for example.
So you talked about energy medicine. I think that's been something that you've been investigating and working on a lot as well, I understand, in the past few years. So maybe some sense on how someone who is an entrepreneur, because again, our audience is, as I said earlier, people who are maybe hard charging entrepreneurs, but also high achievers in general. So how could they use energy medicine and the power it brings to someone's sense of well-being, but also a sense of presence?
Yeah, I hope that's a great question. Great question. The way to bring energy medicine to your life, I recommend actually starting with the Bach flower remedies, BACH, Bach flower remedies. And one of the most common ones, one of the most popular ones, is this one here. This is Rescue Remedy. I actually keep it on my desk because it's so, because I'll take it. I took it just now. I took it before this live. So it's taken a lot by, this is an energy medicine, and it's one of the most simple systems. The Bach flower remedies have 38 flowers in the Bach flower system. There's a whole page on my website I made about them, which is a great introduction. And this one's often taken by performers before a show because it's for anxiety and to give you calm. But it's often taken for people who say don't sleep the best as well, because it's great for, say, like if you have nightmares or anxious mind before sleep. So this is a simple form of energy medicine that can, because the thing with energy medicine is people need to find out that it works. They often don't believe that it could work. They don't have an explanation. So, yeah.
Okay. And I mean, so this is, if someone wants to kind of continue this and make it part of their daily life. So one is this pre-performance anxiety kind of moment, slow your brain down or calm your body down. Where else have you seen people apply energy medicine? Is it like always a case of an ingestible sort of drink or capsule, or is it something else they can do by way of a thinking process or some other sort of, I guess, protocol that can be used other than let's say a drop or some liquids to drink?
Yeah, well, all these things require a bit of learning. Like the thing with natural medicines and all these and energy medicines is that it's a system of self-care. Even homeopathy is another form of energy medicine that people often poo-poo because they think, well, it's not got anything in it, but actually it's got light in it. That's what these are. This has the light from 5 different flowers infused into the crystalline water matrix. Uh, you know, and that's the way it works. And if you don't believe that, you want to suspend your disbelief enough to try it and see if you get a result anyway. So um, yeah, what was the question? I got distracted.
Well, I mean, I was trying to wonder if there's anything beyond the actual liquids itself. I mean, you said the whole science or the whole realm of energy medicine, right? I mean, what other things could someone who wants to start this other than, let's say, if they can't access the flower remedy, for example, what else can they do right after they finish this call, for instance? What could be very useful for them to kind of start trying out?
Sure. Um, yeah, well, the thing is, I'd start with learning. So I have a video on my site that is a very popular one, and on my YouTube channel, which I'm going to grow more. That video is called Energy Healing 1, Color Energy. So it's an introduction to color energy. So in terms of energy medicine, the simplest form is probably color energy and sound energy. So really, that video, I made it to tell people that energy medicine is normal. It's natural. It's something we're already using all the time. So when you feel down and you put on a great song that lifts you up, that's energy medicine. There's no chemical effect going on there from a drug or a substance. You're just having sound waves through the air. That's what music is. So when you feel, when you naturally are drawn, all the colors you wear or that you're naturally drawn to wear are energy medicine. So, when you talk about a power suit in business, or when you wear a yellow shirt because it makes you feel, more uplifted, which I'm happy to wear. When you wear a dark blue because it, soothing, calming. So color is energy medicine, sound is energy medicine. With the Bach flower remedies, you're getting color in a infusible form, which is very powerful. But energy medicine is natural, so I recommend that video. Yeah, color, energy healing, color medicine. Yeah.
Uh, I don't want to kind of finish our show without talking about the part that I guess is probably the most intriguing one for many people, which is about CBD. You kind of referenced it earlier, cannabidiol people are using, and you've had your own experience with that. I mean, for those who are uninitiated, what would be your, 30-second overview of the world of CBD for them? And then let's talk about some things that people can take by way of either dosages or protocols on when they can have it and how it kind of helps someone to be a bit more centered, deals with inflammation, etc., all those things. So a quick first headline summary of what CBD is all about.
Sure, you bet. So I got a note right here. I'm going to read you. Oh man, I think I can find it. Anyway, I had it here. So The Guardian, I believe it was the Guardian newspaper, said CBD reduce people who take it reduce their medicine by 50%, or reduce their drugs or something by 50%. So that was a CBD, a medical miracle. People, something like that was the title. I had it on my computer, but I can't seem to pull it up now. So that sums it up. Like it does so many benefits in the body. It's amazing. And the main 3 are: it reduces anxiety, deepens and improves sleep, and reduces pain and inflammation. So those are the main 3 benefits for people. And that hits on a lot of things because most health conditions have an element of pain and inflammation in them. Even depression, according to many, is inflammation in the brain. So the long-term benefit of taking CBD daily is that you may sleep deeper and better. You may kind of take the edge off any anxiety, like any social anxiety or any kind of anxiety. And then you've got, over the long term, you have increased mood stability, better, more even moods. That's amazing for a natural substance with no side effects.
So again, I mean, in terms of if one was to getting started with that, because obviously there's a whole debate about the dosages and so on. So what's the kind of, are you kind of looking at full spectrum, broad spectrum? Because again, there's this whole idea of, THC, not THC as well. So what's the sort of, if someone's just starting out today, and I mean, we have people listening in from Dubai, but also from outside Dubai. They may be sitting in Canada, for example, afterwards and watching the replay. So what are the dosages that someone can start with if they're thinking, okay, let me just get to experience CBD because I've not ever taken it before?
Yeah, what I recommend is getting either a full spectrum or a broad spectrum CBD tincture. Now, if you're going to be drug tested, so if you're like a fireman or a police officer, firewoman, or something, then you would get an isolate. So the CBD isolates have no THC whatsoever in them. So they're for people who are going to be drug tested. But the broad spectrum or the full spectrum CBD will have a tiny amount of THC in there, not enough to make you high, but might show up on a drug test. So those ones also have all the other cannabinoids in it as well. The isolate is just CBD, which has been pulled out, and you're only getting CBD. The full spectrum and broad spectrum are the preferred ones to take because they have all the cannabinoids in them, and you're getting what's called the entourage effect, which is, all the cannabinoids have therapeutic benefits that we're now researching and learning about. But you get them all in those two different forms. So I recommend taking those. I recommend to start low and go slow, which means start by taking less and slowly increase it each day until you're maybe doing 20 or 40 milligrams a day, depending on your budget, because CBD can be quite pricey. You can take more. World Health Organization put out a report that said CBD has zero chance of harm. Now that said, if you go up into the 40 milligrams or more, some people will get high from it for a little while, maybe for the first few times they take that amount. And people tell me it's very enjoyable, but other people won't, and that has to do with the fact that it has profound effects on brain and body. I believe it's rebalancing things in the brain. And we're learning about what it does. I actually took so that's enough to know about that. But basically, you want to go for full spectrum or broad spectrum unless you're going to be drug tested, in which case you go for an isolate.
What's the dosage that you think someone who wants to really who's kind of in a very stressful environment and takes, I mean, I've tried it and I've taken a certain dose. I think I've gone to probably 40 or 50 milligrams a day, but I've not gone beyond that. But I mean, if someone says, look, and I've also heard some people who have actually taken 100 or even 150 and don't feel it sometimes as well, because maybe the body needs it.
Totally. So, so that was an issue for me. I've been selling CBD for 3 years and learning about it all that time as well. It was new to me 3 years ago, and I most of the time take it and didn't notice anything from it. And I have really intense anxiety some days. I'm still working to fix, and I've tried so many things. So the CBD didn't really benefit my anxiety or my sleep, which was really frustrating. So some people find, I should say, that they don't notice much from it. And I think that has to do with absorption. I think it has to do with they're not absorbing it. That's my my best guess right now. So because they're taking it internally, so it has to go through the gastrointestinal tract. So I've just joined a new company in the last 2 weeks, and they make a proprietary form of CBD that is in a nano emulsion. And through their tests, they're finding 5 to 6 times higher absorption of that CBD, and almost right away it shows up in the bloodstream. This form of CBD. So I'm taking that now, and I actually noticed it the other day. I noticed like a bit of a body high. It just made me feel really good, and it was subtle. But like I say, I don't usually notice it at all from the previous brands I tried and that I even sold that people got benefit from. So this brand is the one I'm selling now. And I'm really happy to be aligned with them. So if people want to know about that, they can contact me.
Sure. Yeah, we'll drop the links of some of these things later on in the show notes as well as in the comments. So on a final kind of thing, if you were to leave people with saying, here are the 3 things I want you to do, for example, to upgrade your physical and mental performance as an entrepreneur or as a business executive or as a very high charging person, could be even just a house worker, for example, what would you say to them, the 3 things that they could get started with in the next day if they have to, max within a week, and will not require to kind of invest hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'd say get some CBD and give it a try. If you can get some the stuff I have, it's get a quality brand. Definitely get a quality brand. Don't just get one that just popped up last week. Get one that your friends like or whatever, or that someone recommends who knows what they're talking about. Give it a real try. Take it for take the full bottle. Go up to 40 milligrams or more. Don't worry about the amount. Start low and go slow. Definitely get into meditation. Try different styles, or maybe find a good teacher. Maybe drop by Om Meditation. I have a teacher. We do Om Meditation. He has a website that will give you the instructions for how to do it on the website, and then we have live events where he teaches actually 7 nights a week online. He teaches now he's definitely a spiritual teacher, so you would want to be into that kind of thing. But the instructions for the Om meditation are simple, and they're on his website. And I'll be adding that to my website as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe try some energy medicine. Look into the Bach flower remedies, and know that you will need to put a bit of learning into that to get the best results out of it. Your first bottle that you buy may not give you a full result because it depends which one that you need, and there's 38 of them. So,
got it. I think I'm going to try the flower remedy thing because I've not tried that before. I do other pieces of energy medicine, but not that one specifically. So we'll happily try it out. So as a final thing, Donovan, so if you were to kind of set a challenge to the audience that's watching this and transform your life, transform your performance, do this for the next 30 days, and then come back and tell me about it later, what would you tell them to kind of start off with? Next 30 days or 7 days? I'll leave it to you to define the period of the challenge.
Sure. Well, why not? Let's say 30 days of Om meditation. I'll give you the instructions right here, and take CBD with it. And for Om meditation, it's real simple. You just take a full deep breath into your lower abdomen. You're really learning to breathe into your abdomen, not your chest. Full deep breath into your lower abdomen. Do the Om on the exhale. The Om, you're going to notice it's a sound that's going to clear your mind. It's going to open. It kind of creates it's a sound of openness. So do the Om on the exhale, and then a slow, long breath in. Breathe full deep breath into the lower abdomen, and then a full Om out again. And you want to get to the point where eventually you're doing a 10-second breath out and a 10-second breath in. So it gets really long and slow. And you'll notice that your emotions will get really calm. And go for 15 to 20 minutes. I do 20 to 40 minutes. So start with 15 to 20 minutes, maybe. Do it every day. If you only want to do 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. So do Om meditation, I would say, and CBD. And experiment with different times of the day. Do it right away in the morning, or maybe try before bed. But do it when you got some energy, when you feel good, and create a nice space around you, where you feel good to sit and do this.
Perfect. Donovan, pleasure having you here. Thank you very much. I think your website, if you can just confirm that, so this way anyone who's watching the show can also, I think it's evolverwellness.com. Is that correct?
Yeah, my website is evolverwellness.com. And there, if you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll get my ebook, 3 Essentials of Healing, which is really got like 30 tips in it for self-healing and performance. A section on energy medicines, a section on nutrition. And you'll also get my free PDF, movies and documentaries I recommend, which is good for people who are isolating.
All righty. Perfect. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. And Donovan, wonderful to have you on the show, and for, joining us all the way from BC in the other part of the world. Everyone else signing out. See you guys next week. We've got an awesome guest next week talking about radical enlightenment. So look forward to that. See you then.
Thank you, Aman.